right center. That ball is gone into Monument Park.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the 28th episode of the Monument Park podcast. I'm Cole Weintraub.
And I'm Luke Perfacci.
And the first place New York Yankees just had a great, fantastic 5-1 week. We, after last episode, weren't feeling too good about the team. And sure, we played Detroit, and sure, we played the Guardians, but we still won 5-1. And that's not with this season. It hasn't been easy to win games, so we will take it. And things are looking up from here on out. And I'm really looking forward to seeing if this team can continue to beat up on the bad teams. Because when it all comes down to it, when it boils down to it, those are the games that you need at the very end. That's going to separate you from a first to a second place team. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if they can continue beating up on these teams. But before we jump in to this awesome week, I have to ask Luke, how are you doing?
Good. I'm honestly happy with everybody on the team except Joey Gallo. He's still bad. But other than that, everybody stepped up. Maybe not as consistently as others. I still want to see more consistency out of Donaldson and Stanton. But overall, I'm happy with the team. A lot of pitchers showing a lot of good things, especially. So, yeah, overall good about the team. A lot better than last week. Last week, I was very negative, but that's how the early season is. You kind of sway and then kind of meets in the middle towards the summer. So just going through that.
And you bring up Joey Gallo, and usually it's like later in the episode, I go on my Joey Gallo rant, and I'm figuring, why don't we just get it out of the way now? I mean, I'm not going to go on a rant, but I'm going to show all of you something that I made for when Joey Gallo comes to the plate. Are you ready? Luke, are you ready? So as you can see, it says Gallo is at bat. Clearly, I'm not happy. And there's the Yankee logo. And on the back, got the big number 13. And I'm just going to let the people in the back know that Gallo is at bat. Joey Gallo is so infuriating to watch play baseball. I can't stand watching this guy go up there. People are booing him. I don't want any player that's just going to get consistently booed. If you're getting booed all the time, you stink. And Joey Gallo stinks. Okay, I'm done. Luke, April 19th, we're heading to Detroit, a place that, we play all right in Detroit. Last few years have been much better, but opening game, let's hear it.
Yeah, so last year I believe we got swept by them. We definitely lost at least 2 out of 3, but it was kind of one of those series that really showed us who we are as a team. And I mean, 2 innings through, our starter, Garrett Cole, had been knocked out, pitching only 1 2/3 innings, 5 walks on 68 pitches, let up 2 runs. Seeing that, I was like, oh boy, here we go again. Like, we're going to lose. It's not going to be a fun series. Looks miserable out, and the guy can't make it through 2 innings, our $300 million man. So that was very frustrating, especially after we got a break with the bases loaded. Donaldson popped up right to like the catcher, the pitcher. And with all the wind and stuff going, it dropped and we scored 2 runs. So we had two free runs to start the game. Nice little cushion for Cole. So you would think that would help him out. And he went through the first fine, no problems. Then we got another run on a Hicks sack fly in the second. So he was up 3-0 going into this inning. And he just couldn't find the zone, walking everybody, letting up runs, and we had to pull him. And Clark Schmidt came in and was just so gutsy. I don't think you could be put in a worse situation than we put him in. And he gave us 3 1/3 and 6 strikeouts, only 2 hits and a walk, which is like, that's unreal for a guy to be able to come in and do that. And it really just like set the tone for the remainder of the game. We got another run later on, I think, a Rizzo home run. No.
No, the ball fell in. We had an Aaron Hicks sack fly at the top of the second. And LeMahieu singled in the ninth inning. Scroll up. And yeah, that's pretty much how it went. It was not really an eventful game. And, those are, Garrett Cole pitching so badly. And we talked about it a little bit at the end of the last episode. When he pitches so bad, it's just like, we're just kind of like numb. His last 3 or 4 starts before the one yesterday, 2 days ago, he had a 7.7 ERA. He's been really bad. And, Clark Schmidt comes in, like Luke said, and he just did his thing. 3 1/3, 6 strikeouts. That's awesome. We want to see that from Clark Schmidt because we're going to need to rely on Clark Schmidt. If I had to make an early guess next season, I would have to say that Jameson Taillon is no longer going to be a New York Yankee. And I would say that rotation spot's open for Clark Schmidt. I think he's got the stuff. I've made that clear. I think he can, be stretched out into an actual starting pitcher because that's what he was. And I just really want to see him have like a legitimate role on this team. And I think Michael King has been so good in the long relief role that should be his role. And I know Michael King wants to be a starting pitcher, and I don't blame him. I don't think anyone wants to be a long reliever, but Michael King has been so good at it. So, just all around good game. I mean, did you talk about Isiah Kiner-Falefa?
No, I didn't, but I was all over him at first. I mean, he came in looking nervous, but he's been picking it up with the glove and the bat. He had 2 hits and a walk today and a run scored, 2 steals. That's really something that we didn't have last year, is a guy who would get on the bases a lot and be a threat a lot. We had Tyler Wade. He couldn't really hit, though, so he wasn't like on all the time. But this guy comes in, gets hits, walks, and then he can steal bases too, which sometimes when our offense is having one of its stagnant days, stealing a base, grabbing second base, and then we're 1 hit away from a run, which could be huge, especially with how our pitching's pitching. If we can just scratch across like 3-4 runs, we have a really good chance to win. So he's shown his value a lot too. And then Hicks had a good game. He had a hit, 2 walks, and an RBI. I mean, any game he stole base too. Any game he's getting RBIs. Like, he's hitting from the right, so we're always more confident with him like that. So I wasn't shocked that he came through, but yeah, I mean, if he could do stuff like that more consistently, I think he'd make a lot of fans like me a lot happier. But this was overall a pretty. It settled in, especially after how Cole started. That 3 innings from Clark Schmidt really kind of got the game back on our side and let us kind of coast to a victory. So I thought it ended up being pretty low stress compared to what we thought it would be at the beginning.
I mean, just a quick round of applause to the bullpen. I mean, 7 1/3 innings. I mean, that's really hard to do. And especially, they didn't go up another run. So, I mean, when Garrett Cole pitches that bad, you're not supposed to win the game. And yeah, he didn't, give up 8 runs, but he only gave you an inning and 2/3. You're not supposed to win the game, especially like first game of the series. Like, what a freaking letdown of a start. Like, you're supposed to go into the series, hopefully get a good start, especially with your ace. And if he's doing nothing, he's going an inning and 2/3, you're set up very poorly for the remainder of the series. Yeah, I mean, just I don't really know why he was just so off. I mean, he got into so many 3-2 counts. It's just, unfortunate. So, hey, is what it is. We move on to the next game. And, this was, April 20th. And this game just worked. I mean, Severino, this was a unique Severino start because Luis Severino is a guy that, if he'll give you 5 innings, he'll give you 7 strikeouts. Like, he'll give you 8 strikeouts. He'll give you 9 strikeouts. And he didn't really rack up the strikeouts. He was actually pretty hittable in the second game. He gave 7 hits over 5 innings. And, that's for how good he pitched for what his stat line says, 7 hits is hard to do. He only gave up 1 run and he struck out 3 batters. So he was he was, forcing contact. And I feel like he was forced to throw a lot of pitches in hittable spots. Much different performance, but 5 innings, 1 run is awesome. And I will take that any day. That 1 run he gave up came with a single by Victor Reyes into right field. Candelaria scored, and then Miguel Cabrera tried to get to third base, and Stanton. People forget that Stanton actually physically has an arm attached to his body, and that it's actually good. Stanton throws at Miguel Cabrera. I could probably throw at Miguel Cabrera. Let's be real. So that was pretty goofy. And after Seven gave up that run, when Aaron Judge double on a 3-2 count and only 1 out, like we needed that. Judge needed that. And I think it really set him up well for the rest of the week, pretty much. Because after that, Judge looked pretty locked in. So that gave us that tied the game at 1. Rizzo came in, hit a ground ball, gave us a 2-1 lead. 2-1 lead. And then the 6th inning, Anthony Rizzo continues to do his thing. We brought him in to be the veteran, to put the bat on the ball, to play good defense, and hit some home runs. And he's been doing all 4 of those things. And yeah, he's only hitting 240. But at this point in his career, I'm taking that. If that's what we're paying him to do, paying him $16 million. Anthony Rizzo homers again, and now we're up 3-1. So you get to the 6th inning, and Sevy's out. Sevy had like 88 pitches, and at this point, the guy's coming off injury. I know he pitched last year, and he's ready. He's as ready as any of the other guys. That's what Boone said at the end of spring training, but. They pull him, 88 pitches, fine. Chad Green comes in, and he really didn't have it. He gave up a broken bat single to Miguel Cabrera that went right in between IKF and Donaldson. He had a ball falling right past the shifted IKF, who jumped higher than I think I've ever seen someone to jump in a baseball game, especially for how tall the guy is. And then it was inevitable. 2-out, 2-run double from Harold Castro to tie it all up at 3. And, that was infuriating. Like, Chad Green is, when he doesn't have it, you just want to rip your hair out, because it's like he's just going to give the game away. The sad thing is, Chad Green ended up getting the win in this game, which makes no sense. Am I right by saying that? Am I right or am I wrong? I'm pretty sure he got the win. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong if you find it, but he did strike out Grossman with 1st and 3rd and 2 outs to hold it at 3. That was big, because to hold the game at 3, he limited the damage. So in the 7th inning, we had 1st and 3rd for Falefa, and he lined a single to give us a 4-3 lead. Luke's been saying it. This guy is just putting the bat on the ball, and he's actually like hitting it pretty hard, which is something that he wasn't doing earlier in the season. In that sequence, in that inning, they put Tim LeCastro in. Chad Green got the win. Yeah, of course he did. Tim LeCastro comes in. Glaber bunts it back to the pitcher, Drew Hutchison, who I remember pitching for like the 2014-15 Blue Jays. Don't really know how he still has a job. Gets the ball, turns around, and throws a second, just not even close. Tim LeCastro slides in, gets back up, goes to 3rd. We really needed, that team needed like a guy like LeCastro. And I know you had Wade last year, but it got to the point where Wade was actually playing a fairly decent amount of games. This roster is deep enough to the point where LeCastro can just come in for defense and speed, and I like that. So we score there. In the 8th inning, DJ extended the lead with a fielder's choice, and Rizzo slid in right by the tag. I mean, the guy's doing everything right now, and it's good to see. I'm happy with Anthony Rizzo's performance so far, and the bullpen has just been gross. I mean, Green, Loizaga, Holmes, and Chapman. After Green, Loizaga, Holmes, Chapman, all through scoreless innings, and held together a 5-3 victory. And now you've won the series, and you can go in tomorrow and sweep. And then going into Detroit, that's not very easy. It's very cold there. You needed, after last series, the prior series, you needed a series like this. And to give some context for later, or the next game, Miguel Cabrera had 3 base hits, 2,999. And as a Yankee fan, I don't want to see Miguel Cabrera 3,000 hit highlights for the rest of my life. So I was really hoping they locked him down in the 3rd game. And, well, I got one of my 2 wishes, and I can't say it was the one I wanted the most. So, Luke, I mean, take it away.
Before I even talk about Game 3, I just want to touch on the fact that other than Ron Marinaccio, Chad Green is literally our worst relief. Like, it's not even funny. The guy throws 94 that doesn't move. It's like he can't pitch high leverage anymore. Like I don't know. I don't want to see him in high leverage anymore. I've saw enough last year. I knew coming into the year like he would get his chances, but I mean the guy's just like I don't get why he doesn't throw like a 2-seam or something. Like at once every like 3 or 4 balls he has will have a lot of like run on it, and it's like if he could do that consistently, he'd be effective. But the ball, like it's not enough just to put 94 at the top of the zone anymore. Like it's just not. So I think we may start to see Chad fall out of the rotation a little bit, which is kind of sad because he has given us a lot of very good years and then a couple of serviceable ones mixed in there too. So I mean, I don't know. It's just like been tough to see the fall of Chad Green, but what are you gonna do? We have a lot of arms now and they're all pitching great. So I think we could definitely do without him for the time being. Yeah, coming off the 2 wins, I was honestly confident. It felt like we were hitting our stride. Monty, he's always good for a good performance during situations like this. Like when the team's doing well, I feel like he feeds on it. If stuff's going wrong, I feel like things fall apart. But when things are going well, he's always good for a good start, and he gave us one.
I mean, he did pitch pretty well in that Rays playoff game. We lost back-to-back games. He came in through a gem. I'm just giving the guy credit where I see it's due.
Yeah, he's a good 3. I don't know. But yeah, he came in 6 innings, 1 run, 5 Ks, 2 walks. Like should get you a win. 9 times out of 10, I feel like we never hit for this guy. And today was no different. We got no runs all day. There was nothing going on. We had 1 rally where we had bases juiced, no outs, and then is it 2nd and 3rd?
I think it was 1st and 3rd. 1st and 3rd? I'm pretty sure it was 1st and 3rd because you had
1st and 3rd. You're right. Because Hicks came up and then popped up, which was like the one thing he couldn't do because they were playing back up the middle. And then they bring in Soto they walk Judge and then bring in Soto to face Rizzo, and he just hit one back to the pitcher, which was unfortunate because there was a force at home. And then Stan hit one right at Torkelson. It was just like once it got to 2 outs, you knew. When there's no outs and a runner on 3rd, and then you get out like twice in a row without getting the run in, it's just not gonna go well. And then the game was over. They added some insurance. We walked Miggy to load the bases, and then Meadows blooped a hit right in front of center and left field. It was kind of a little pop up, but I don't know.
I mean, to that point, Miguel Cabrera was like 0 for 3. Montgomery was throwing some of the nastiest pitches. Everyone's on their feet. I mean, it just felt like he was going to hit a home run because they showed a graphic that his first hit was a home run. His 1,000th hit was a home run. His 2,000th hit was a home run. Isn't 3,000 going to be a home run? I mean, we didn't see it. It wasn't a home run against the Rockies. But he's 0 for 3, and he comes up and they walk him, and everyone's just giving it to the Yankees. But it was the right move. You have an open base. Yeah, I'm not pitching to Miguel Cabrera.
Nobody smart was giving him any. No smart baseball fan had anything to say. It was all like the stupid Tigers fans that paid like $20 to get in the game that wanted to see it. It's like, dude, there's an open base. Like, what are we talking about? I never even took that whole thing serious. Like, we shouldn't have walked him. Like, the guy's obviously going to get his 3,000th hit probably in the next game. He had 3 at-bats against a lefty to do it, and he couldn't. So it's like, all right, big deal.
He's been hitting lefties his entire career.
That's what you're supposed to do when you're a righty, but I don't know. That's just me. But, yeah, I mean, I kind of thought the Meadows ball should have been caught. You see the angle. Like, he thought he kind of like slowed up, like it was like a fly ball. Like he was surprised it dropped. I don't know. It didn't. We weren't hitting that day. It was one of those days. Like I talked about in the Blue Jays series against Manoah, we just have those days where it's just not going to happen. And this was just one of those days. There isn't really much to talk about. No one came through. Like it's just how it had to happen.
No, I got my Joey Gallo rant out of the way, but I just saw something that I could rip him for. Robbie Grossman doubled, and Joey Gallo just didn't cut it off. I mean, me and Luke in the offseason are always talking about maximizing on Joey Gallo's defense, and he's not playing good defense. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, do something right, dude.
He's been taking like weird routes to the ball too. It's very he needs to, like, he can't do it. It's a Sonny Gray thing again. It's literally he's the offensive Sonny Gray. It's what it is. It's time to call it what it is. The guy can't get out of his own head. It's done. Like send him off. It's done.
It's Chris Carter if I've ever seen it.
No, because Gallo's supposed to be like really good. And he's just not.
Chris Carter hit 45 home runs the year before he came to the Yankees.
But like that's different. It's Chris Carter, like we know. Like sometimes it's just like, all right, you're gonna be good on any team other than the Yankees. It's like it's the same. It feels like Sonny Gray again. Feels like Sonny Gray again.
Thanks, Adam Hassan.
Like nothing you can do. I don't know what we would get for him, but I think it's just time for it to be done.
I mean, I was reading an article that we had traded him we were trying to trade him to the Padres in the offseason. I mean, the fact that we were even considering it and didn't get it through, because I read that the Yankees were trying to make a deal for Joey Gallo, last trade deadline, and I was so mad. And then they finally like maybe tried to get and understand that they were wrong. And they were asking for too much. It's almost like they forgot that the guy hit 0 last year on the Yankees. He came over and didn't get a hit if it wasn't a bunt or a home run. Okay, I could say so much. But the fact that they didn't trade him to the San Diego Padres, I mean, that would have been a perfect fit. Like, perfect fit. Go to San Diego, just like Luke Voigt. Just get out of here. Just go. Why is Joey Gallo not bunting anymore? Like, what's going on? The guy's just as shifted.
Honestly, like him trying to bunt would almost make it worse. Like you came over here to hit bombs, like try to hit the ball. Like I'm not going to be satisfied by one bunt hit every 10 games. It's just not. There's no good outcome with this guy.
But bunting is something where you like actually make contact with the ball. It might actually like flip a switch and be like, okay, like I saw it hit the bat. Like it's all about see ball, hit ball. And that's what a bunt is. Maybe he needs to lay one down and maybe he'll just go on a tear. Who knows? But just the idea of just putting the bat on the ball. And I know he's been putting the bat on the ball, but did you just drink the seltzer that was sitting there for days? Nice. I don't know. He's just gotta do something else than stink or just go elsewhere. All right. We're done talking about him.
Happy episode. There were so many good performances this week. We're done talking about him for at least this episode because we had a lot of good in this Cleveland series. Get the bag away. We had a lot. We had a good time against Cleveland. We won 3 games. Let's focus on that.
So, you come back home and you're coming off 2 out of 3, but you're coming off a bummer of a loss. And Cleveland comes to town, and it's just like you don't really know how to feel about it because Cleveland's one of those teams where their offense can just go bonkers, and it had been. They were the hottest team in baseball. They just swept the White Sox. So they're coming to town. I'm like, great, we got them at the wrong time. and they're just going to do damage because that's just what a hot team does. And that wasn't the case. Aaron Judge played like Aaron Judge. He had 2 home runs. Great job, Judge. He had a home run in the 3rd inning to make it 2-0. And he homered again to make it 4-1. Jameson Taillon. I mean, this guy is coming in, doing his thing. 5 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, 5 Ks, no walks. J-Mo. I mean, this guy's my guy. He's my guy. He's my guy. I mean, there was probably 4 episodes there last year where I couldn't stand him, but he's my guy.
I can't. Yeah. Oh my God, you're annoying. He's good now. I know. We struggled through last year with the looping curveballs that just nobody was swinging at. We went through the buffer year. Yeah, the roll me over little league kid that just realized he doesn't have to throw straight ball curveballs. And now we have a decent pitcher. I mean, Matt Blake is a hero for what's going on right now. It's awesome. He's the most important person in the franchise at the moment because they're pitching lights out. Other than the $350 million ace, which I'm just gonna pray that we figure that one out. But yeah, no, I mean J-Mo looks sick. No walks. That's what I like. 5 innings, no walks. Give me 5 innings, no walks, even if it's 2 runs, sure, because you were efficient. Like that's good. That makes me happy that he wasn't walking people because I feel like he got behind a lot last year and it led to a lot of walks. So that's a very good sign in my opinion.
To a lot of walks and a lot of home runs. I mean, he was giving up home runs to anybody. I mean, I don't really have to say too much about this game. After Judge took a fastball, he let it travel and he just punched it to right center. He looked like Donkey Kong in Mario Super Sluggers. He punched it right center field. Your prototypical Judge swing. Really good to see. Like I said, it made it 2-0. And then you had Franmil Reyes hit a home run the next inning. So I was like, of course, Judge does something right finally. And then Franmil comes up and cuts it in half. Franmil hit a home run against us last year, and I remember it being really upset. But we're going to move on. Right after we had a Donaldson walk followed up by a Glaber Singer and then IKF. I mean, this guy's a stud. I mean, this guy is probably hitting 500 over the last 10 games. I'm pretty sure that's the stat. He's going crazy, and I love it. So, it's 3-1. Judge hits another home run. I mean, the guy that they had pitching looks like pretty sure he made his major league debut. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Judge's chamber. 4-1. And then just hand the ball to Mike King, Michael King. 8 strikeouts through 3 innings. This guy is out of his mind right now. This dude is pitching better than anybody. He's throwing 95. That's running to the corner. Who's hitting that? This guy is pitching like Greg Maddux on roids. This guy's awesome. Michael King, my guy. Chapman comes in, gets the save. Yanks win 4-1. I know you're not supposed to say it's a statement game, but you kind of put Cleveland back in their place after. I mean, here's an example. They said that Rizzo had the most RBIs on the team, 10. This is that game. The next day, Oscar Mercado comes up. He's got 11 RBIs, and he was benched. I mean, that just tells it all. I mean, the Whites, who's ever pitching against the Guardians, I must have said Indians probably 6 times. That's a shame. Who's ever pitching against these guys is throwing it right down the middle. J-Ram's hitting like 450. He didn't do anything this series. We held them down, and you're going to see that throughout these recaps. Luke, April 23rd. Let's go.
Coming off a nice win. Just good performance from everybody. You want to see a little more out of the offense in that first game than just the Judge show, but I don't know. The guy wants $100 million a year, so there's going to be games like that where he carries. So it's good to get one of those. And then we got Nestor coming in off his what was it, like 11 Ks against the Orioles? Might have even been more, 12. Yeah, exactly. And he just followed it up. I mean, he let up a home run to Naylor, who actually kills us. That's one where you can say that he murders us. Hit a bomb, but that was his only hit. He gave up 2 runs the whole game, 6 and a third, 1 hit, 8 Ks. That and one unbelievable play where the ball got hit to Rizzo and he goes over to cover. And I think Rizzo was gonna eat it. Like he wasn't gonna even throw it. And then he sees Nestor just chugging, throws a dot, and he catches it and then dives. And it was bang bang play, safe or out. It wasn't safe. Should have been safe. I don't know. The guy's probably like, dude, what's going on? He's the spark we need, honestly. Every time he's out there, he's doing his leg lifts, he's striking people out. He's a great watch. But the offense had another one of those days where it's just like, dude, we gotta score runs before the 5th inning. We can't have these comeback games. Some games we just gotta get out in front and just keep it the whole time. We didn't this game, but in the bottom of the 5th, Hicks started the rally with a walk, Gallo with a single, which is like Christmas. And then IKF, who is like the best hitter on our team in the last 10 days for some reason. As much as I talk about people not hitting in run scoring position, guys doing it a lot, coming up in big spots and getting knocks. That's really all I want. And he did that, gets it 2-1, and Gallo gets all the way to third on the play, which is huge because Higgy came up and hit a sac fly, which I think is my favorite play in baseball. I love the sac fly. Big Joe's McFly guy, but he's right. Sac flies so underrated. I think if we hit sac flies, we would be undefeated. I'm not even kidding. The way we've been pitching, we would be undefeated with sac flies. But yeah, then Holmes comes in to relieve Nestor in the 7th, gets us out of it. I mean, when we're putting anybody in the game other than Chad Green, I don't really care. And the guy's another one like King. He's throwing frisbees all over the place. It's 97 breaking at righty's knees, which is just an abnormal pitch. When we get out of that inning, it's bottom of the 7th, 2-2, and then Donaldson finally gets one. He's been having a couple walks here and there, a couple hits. He had a pinch hit double in the Tigers game, the game we lost. I forgot to mention, but yeah, he pimped it.
I'm bringing it back. I know you don't want me to bring it back, but I'm bringing back the batting stance. I'm going to give you Josh Donaldson's pimp job. Give me a moment.
Yeah, so Donaldson put one into the bullpen, like a majestic style home run. Here's Cole. He's a big imitations guy. Finally has a new one to do. He's excited. Yeah, I mean, he flipped his whole body, so he was looking at the ball and just tossed the bat. You knew he was gone immediately. And when he hit that home run, I honestly thought the game was over because the way we've been pitching. And then Chad Green comes in. And it's like, all right, 2 outs, base runner on. I was watching my buddy. I was like, no. I was like, he's going to hang one here because that's what he does. But Austin Hedges is so terrible that it's not going to matter. And then Austin Hedges hits a bomb. That was 1,000% my fault. But the guy's hitting 0.97. And you're giving up a go-ahead home run in the top of the 8th. And this guy, that was the moment where I was like, oh my God, he's like done in high leverage. He's going to be like a garbage time pitcher. It's unreal.
It gave the Guardians the lead. I mean, it was like, oh my God. Like I'm on the phone with my dad talking about how Nestor Cortez is just the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then, gets it to 3-2. I'm like, all right, Chad, like at least like walk him. Like don't throw him 94 right down the middle and not show any emotion. Like if you're going to throw 94 down the middle, at least do it like freaking Severino. I mean, we didn't talk about it, but in Severino's start against the Tigers, he had bases loaded jam. Barnhart came up, threw 95 down the middle, and he's just flailing his arms. I love the emotion. Chad Green pitches with no emotion. He pitches like he just read, he just watched like a sad movie about like a dog. Like Chad, like go like do something. Get angry, dude. Get angry, Chad Green. You gave up a home run to Austin Hedgehog. Like, are you kidding me? Like that's embarrassing.
I was like I said, that was the moment. I was like, he's done in high leverage. Give me Clay Holmes. Give me Wandy. Give me Miguel Castro, kind of. Give me Loizica. Like, I'm done.
Is it just me, or is Wandy Peralta not pitching enough? This guy needs to be out there more. I'd much rather have Wandy in. I mean, the guy's name is Chad. Like, put Wandy in the game.
Yeah. No, I mean, we have so many good relievers that someone's going to get less time. That's just like
put in Licky.
I would take Licky over Chad, and I don't even love Licky that much. But, like, it's gotten to that point where that's the reality of the situation. I don't know his contract details, but, I mean, the guy just has to stop pitching high leverage. Just bottom line. So, yeah, we go out in the 8th. Judge hit a missile of a line out. A couple unlucky, like, just didn't happen for us. That's the way it goes. Then the bottom of the 9th, we get a Donaldson walk, and then Castro pinch runs, and he is, like, I know they say the fastest runner in baseball, but, like, he is the fastest runner in baseball. He is unreal. So he's standing on first, Hicks up. I'm just hoping for not a double play because that's what I'm expecting. And then he strikes out, but LeCastro stole. Earlier in the at-bat, LeCastro got the world's greatest jump on any pitch I've ever seen. It was the best jump of all time in the history of the game of baseball. And Hicks just limply fouls it back. You guys know how I am with this guy by now, especially from the left side. I think he's incompetent. So that was just like, dude, what are you swinging at? Like, it's against Emmanuel Clase. You're not turning on 101 at the letters. It's crazy to even swing at that pitch. But yeah, we got the steal anyway, so that's fine.
Is it just me, or are some of these, like, they throw electric stuff, but they don't know how to pitch with runners on? Like Emmanuel Clase looks like he's never, like, he's locked down everybody. He doesn't know how to slide step. It takes anybody with any amount of speed, and you're getting into scoring position. The hitter has to know that. The hitter has to know the situation. The thing that made the captain so great was that in every moment he knew what was going on. He knew if some guy had a slide step, and he, if he didn't, he let the guy steal. What was the first or second pitch of the at bat? I mean, yeah, if it's a strike, it's a strike. So be it. But it wasn't. Or, whatever, he swung at it, so it was. But I don't know. Some relief pitchers, they come into the game, and if you get a runner on, I'm no longer scared. You remember Diego Castillo on the Rays? Like, that guy could not pitch with runners on. Granted, he never really got guys on. Like, he was mowing us down. But when we got someone on, we were in business.
Yeah, so then there's a runner on second and 1 out. And in my mind, it was like, if Hicks let him steal, he would have had a runner on second, and then he could do his typical rollover, and then it would have gotten him to third. That's where my head was at. So I was like, all right, now we got this guy on second, and Gala's up. And I really don't even think he can, like, see the ball right now. He just, like, broke his bat, a little soft, like, I'll call it a line out, but it was like a pop-up that just wasn't that high, right to the first baseman. So then it's like 2 outs. It's like, all right, IKF's coming up. He's hot, but this guy throws gas. I was thinking maybe he could poke one to right field. And he gets to 2 strikes, and the guy throws 100 miles an hour on the inner black. And IKF turns on this ball, and I saw it go up, and I saw the swing. I was like, oh my God, he cranked that. I never thought it was going out, but I saw Quan going back, and I was like, oh my God, he's going to catch it. Here we go. And it hit the wall, and we tied the game. I was freaking out. I can't. Clutchest hit of the year. IKF. I'm all in. Like, he was terrible at first. I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm down for this.
3 quick hitters. I don't think IKF's going to homer this year. I mean, he got into that one and that didn't leave. Stop drinking that. Second, I don't really. Oh, Stephen Kwan was making every play in this series. So when the ball's hit out there, I was like, all right, he's going to just do a 360 spin move and haul this one in. And number 3, Luke's on the IKF train. Choo. Yeah. I mean, just what a swing. I mean, when the guy's throwing that hard, like really anything that you put a good wood on is flying. So, but it's not in a position where he was like, could hit a fly ball. Like, no, like he cranked it. And I don't know what's going on with the wall in left field. It used to be like this scoreboard. Now it's like this like flexible fence with like, you know, a digital scoreboard behind it, but it's not a scoreboard. It's like advertisements. I don't really understand that, but that definitely helped because if it's a solid wall, Kwan might make the catch because like he might know like that he can, you know, kind of hit the wall and potentially make the play still. But I just feel like left field in Yankee Stadium is a little questionable for some guys out there. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can't stress how hard it was to barrel on 100-mile-an-hour cutter on the inner black for a righty. Like that was a pitch that should have been a broken bat pop up to shortstop, and he smokes one off the wall. It was so clutch. I love a good single. I think they're so like everyone loves home runs. There's a guy on base, just hit a single, and then we're really in business. We have runners on base, and the potential that a home run like changes the whole outlook of the game. So this guy, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's gonna go from me questioning what we were doing to being like pretty happy that he's a Yankee. And then it's like, all right, like no way Magic strikes twice. Like this team hasn't hit a run in scoring position all year. Gleyber comes up and he has a little flair for the dramatic, even though he's kind of fallen off in the last year or two. He has 6 walk-off hits, which is a lot. Aaron Judge has 1. I'll leave that there, but it wasn't a hit, so we'll just I won't talk about that anymore. But yeah, I mean, Clase's flustered at this point. Gleyber stays inside fastball, just smacks it to right field right in the gap. Easy game winner. And yeah, we got to talk about the fans that threw the beer on the field after the game. It was unfortunate because Kwan got hurt. Everyone's having a good time. It's a Saturday. Everyone's excited in the stands. And then some bum said something about Kwan's injury, and you just can't be that way about player injuries. So Miles Straw had a thing or two to say, climbed the wall and got in his face, which I respect it, but you know it's gonna like it's just once that happened, I was like, all right, there's no way this game just ends smoothly. And I think if the ball wasn't hit in the literal right center where the 2 guys that were jawing at the fans are, it would have been a little bit of a smoother ending. But I mean, it hit. You had Straw and Mercado both running back, and then the idiots just throw the beer at them, which you cannot do. Like, it's like a safety thing, and it's like a respect thing. It's just not something that can be done. It's like the same thing with Verdugo last year. Just like these fans, man. They just make the whole organization look bad, and it's just because, like, I don't know, we're the Yankees. We're supposed to be better than everybody. We can't be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, making fun of someone's injury and like, who really knows if like that's necessarily true? Like, they're like, come on, like, yeah, Miles Straw can say that. He can say anything. He could have said anything.
I think the audio was like released. Like, I think it's either way. Even if not, like, I don't know, something has to be said realistically to get a player to climb the wall like that. Which it's like it was one lame kid. Like, you just knew it was gonna end bad. That's just how.
So I yeah, like making fun of injuries, like that's totally out of line. Totally out of line. And regardless of where you do it, at your house, you know, in a tree, in his submarine. You shouldn't be making fun of injuries. I think Yankee fans in general have this bad rap. All Yankee fans are this, all Yankee fans are that. And that'll never change. Like, it's a reputation kind of thing. You know, the 27 rings and the this and the that. Like, me and Luke would never say that. Like, ever. Like, if we're talking about like a legacy thing, sure. Like, just know when you say it. But we're not like that. We're not Luke, bless you. Luke would never, ever do that. Neither would I. So it's just it's a bummer, but it doesn't really change the way people look at us. I mean, those people, as John Sterling called them, are hooligans. They're hooligans. And those aren't necessarily Yankee fans. You know, what were they throwing on the field? Beer cans. Bless you. Beer cans. Luke is struggling with his allergies, boy. They're throwing beer cans on the field. These people are drinking. I'm not giving them an excuse, but I mean, maybe we should limit how much you can drink at a game. I mean, that's just a flawed system, but it's just like, I don't know. Everyone's excited. Everyone's, wanting to get back at these guys for what they're doing. And, that's just what happened. Heat of the moment, whatever, move on. And, well, if we want to move on, I don't think there was a bad thing that happened in this game. This third game, April 24th. Garrett Cole, 6 2/3 innings, 1 walk, 9 Ks, 4 hits. Dude's in the 7th inning stretch singing the Star Spangled Banner, or God Bless America, excuse me. And he's just having a great time. This was a confidence booster start for Garrett Cole. He needed one of these. It doesn't matter what team he was pitching against. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He was pitching against the Guardians. So be it. One of the better offenses right now in baseball. And he did his thing. And it's really encouraging. He needed it. Hopefully next start, he just does the same. And it'll probably be I don't even know where it'll be. It might be in Kansas City. Yeah, it definitely will be in Kansas City. But, everybody hit 2. Rizzo hit a home run that he hit off the ground into the first row. Don't really care. A home run's a home run. DJ doubled, but the ball went off Oscar Mercado's glove. But it was awesome because Mercado was right in the thick of it the day before. And people are yelling, it's all your fault. All your fault. I mean, I love that. It's his fault. I mean, that was a bonehead play. Hicks popped it up. It dropped. Scored another run. Gallo doubled. IKF hit a sac fly. DJ hit a home run. Damn. Tim LeCastro hit a home run. Everybody eats.
Tim LeCastro's home run was an absolute bomb. Absolute bomb. I don't know what happened there, but he hit that ball so hard and it went so far. The fact that the pitcher reacted the way he did before the camera even turned around off a ball hit by Tim LeCastro, I mean, it was just our day. It was the easiest game I think I've watched since 2019. It was so low stress.
It was awesome. And I think with Tim LeCastro, it's that upstate New York power, baby. I don't think there's any other way to put it. Wandy pitched well in relief. I didn't even know Wandy pitched this game, to be honest. And when I don't really know who's pitching out of the bullpen, it probably means we did a pretty good job, or we got smoked. Marinaccio came in the last inning, didn't do his thing. We didn't get a shutout, but it's fine. We went 10-2, and it was awesome. And everyone hit, and it was just a good win. One thing that needs to change is Giancarlo Stanton. G needs to start hitting. And if G starts hitting, this team is gross.
I'm so not worried about him. He does this every year. He has a stretch where he looks like he's never played the game of baseball before. And then he'll have a stretch like this, and then he'll have a stretch where he's the best hitter in the world. and then it'll even out and he'll hit 260 with like 28 home runs or whatever. And then he'll go to the playoffs and mash, and then we'll win the World Series because of him and Rizzo. And it'll all be great.
I did not just hear the number two, a home run total by Giancarlo Stanton start with a 2. 28.
I said 28. I meant 38 because I'm an optimist when it comes to Giancarlo Stanton. He is my favorite player. Top 2 on the team. So he'll be fine. It's fine.
I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm worried about him. I just want him to just get going. Because he was looking pretty good to start the season. So, all right. So you go 5-1. The Yankees are in first place, tied for first place, but we have the upper hand. We've got 3 against Baltimore, and then we've got Kansas City on the road. I mean, come on, let's do 5-1 again. I don't really care what the one loss is. I prefer to beat the Orioles all 3 games at home. But let's go. Like, come on, let's pick it up. These are the games we need to win. I said it in the open. Let's just keep it going. So tonight, Jordan Lyles is going for the Orioles with a 3.52 ERA. He pitched great against us last time. He pitched great against us in Texas, but don't get me started. Luis Severino's on the bump. So Sevvy's going to dice against the Orioles. I'm saying it right now. Tomorrow, Tyler Wells, I believe, 6.75 ERA. I mean, come on. Montgomery's on the bump. Come on. Let's go. In the stadium. And then Bruce Zimmerman, this guy that went toe-to-toe with Nestor Cortez when Cortez threw the game of his life. 1.2 ERA, but J-Mo's going. It sounds like a sweep. I mean, Garrett Cole's not pitching. Yeah, Nestor's not pitching, but we were going to score runs for him anyway. What's up with not scoring for these lefties? I don't really get that, but hey, man, let's just get a sweep.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, we don't really score for anybody, but it's not just because of the lefty. We're a really bad first 5 innings team, I feel like. I feel like it takes us a while to get going. And I think the fact that we're playing these guys again so soon after we played them the first time will be good because we just saw them for, like, I know Lyles pitched. I know Zimmerman pitched. There was another for the third. But, we saw them. Like, let's go. Let's hit the ball. Like, let's get 3 wins. I don't think it's unreasonable to think at all. I also just forgot to mention, but with Cole, what do we think? Like, Higgy's been so bad, and then he dices with Trevino. Like, do we think that matters or no?
Personally, it's 1 start. I need to see it over. I mean, it's such a small sample size. Maybe the guy just figured it out. So, I mean, I'm not going to talk about people are trying to find things about Garrett Cole wiping stuff off his pants. Yet every half inning, he's getting checked. And he pitched 6 2/3 innings, meaning he got checked 7 times. But I just think it's such a short sample size, so I need to see it more. But, I mean, if he's going to pitch better with Trevino, I mean, Trevino's going to play every day.
Yeah, I agree. I think there isn't too much like debate going on right now. Everything's kind of just in order. We just I don't know. We just got to keep hitting, I guess. I mean, I'm just kind of trying to not get upset that we have a black hole in our lineup at all times. But this next 6 should be as successful as this 6. Exactly. Yeah. Show them the bag one more time. This 6 should be even easier than the last 6. I mean, the Orioles are worse than the Tigers, undisputedly, I think. And then the Royals are worse than the Guardians. And we went 5-1. Let's just play good baseball. I just want to see clean baseball in the next 6 games. We just got to get wins. It's really how you have to do it against these bad teams. Don't play down, pitch well, hit the ball hard, execute, and then we should be fine.
Too bad we won't have Luke Voigt to kick in the Royals. He killed the Royals. I mean, he's from there. So, all right. Well, thank you guys listening, watching. Yanks are going to go do their thing, and we're just going to keep talking about it. Big things on the way. Something big's coming. You guys don't want to miss it. So follow the social media, Monument Bark Pod, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Go follow the TikTok. We're on there too. Links in the description. We will catch you guys next week. Peace.